Hi everyone, it's Christine. I wanted to show you today how to make an altered bird cage like I've made using a really fun kit that I've put together from Want to Scrap. I'm going to show you this card here first because that's where my blog is located, because every picture has a story to tell.blogspot.com. You can go over and purchase one of my kits. I only have 9 of these available, so if you're interested, you'll want to go over and get yours. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to put together any others. So if you want one, go on over to my blog and you can purchase it through PayPal there. Okay, so this is how the kit's going to come to you. It's packaged really pretty. Patrice Caro from the Altered Muse Studio packaged this up for me. And I added some really pretty mulberry flowers and some other embellishments, a stick pin, a chipboard bird, some leaves, some feathers, some other really fun things to help you make your own bird cage. So if you purchase this, you're going to receive everything that you see me using. You can make your bird cage look exactly like mine, or you can do whatever you like with it yourself and make it your own. So I'm going to get started and show you how I made mine. I've done a couple steps in advance just so we wouldn't have to wait for drying. Now here is what it looks like. I did not paint this side just so I could show it to you. And it comes in 2 pieces. You can see these 2 pieces come apart. What I did is I painted both pieces white. I did not worry about getting inside all of the crevices of this outer layer, because I wanted mine to look distressed anyway. So I just went ahead and I painted it white. I allowed it to dry, and then I took my vintage photo distress ink pad from Tim Holtz, and I simply just took the pad to the bird cage like this, like I'm doing now, and just swiped it until I achieved the color that I wanted to achieve. Okay? So it's really easy to do. Again, I just did it in advance so that we wouldn't have to worry about waiting for drying. The little bird that comes inside your kit is, again, the same type of material, the chipboard, and I simply used some waterfall stickles. The color is called waterfall. I put a glob in the center of him and I just rubbed it with my thumb and my forefinger until he was completely covered. And then I added a little piece of bling there for his eye, and I hot glued this together just by putting some hot glue on this end and on this end. So that's where we are with this, okay? He's looking pretty cute right now. I'm going to show you a technique that I learned watching someone else's YouTube video, and I'm sorry I can't tell you who it is because I saw it at least a couple of months ago. And it's a really fun and easy way to color some flowers. Now I'm taking my Distress Ink Pad Worn Lipstick and I'm just putting it on my craft mat. I love these craft mats. And I'm just going to spritz it with my spray bottle. Now I do have a kit available also on my blog where you get 8 mulberry flowers that we're going to be using right now, along with this 4-ounce spray bottle from Stampendous. And you can purchase that on my blog if you like. However, you are going to get everything that you need. As I told you, you're going to get one of these inside of your kit. Now, as you can see, the water has made this ink bead up, and all we're going to do is paint with it. Okay? So all I'm doing is applying the ink wherever I want to apply it. I'm going to make mine 2-toned, so I don't want to cover the entire leaf. I'm just putting it on the outer edges here. This is really fun and easy to do. Your children, depending on their age, might really like to do this. Here's one that I've already finished using, like, I believe it was squeezed lemonade and worn lipstick, so it's very pretty. And you can just keep adding your color. You can make it darker, whatever you'd like to do. I'm going to make mine, like I said, the worn lipstick, and I'm going to use the vintage photo just to bring in the distressed color that I used on the bird cage. So here we go. We just apply the ink. And I'll tell you again at the end of the video how to get my kits and show you the card. I really like putting together the kits. I think it really helps people to have everything that they need in one spot so you don't have to run out and try to find your own things. And I know that I myself, when I see someone do something and I love it, I want mine to look like theirs, so I like to be able to purchase a kit if it's offered. Okay, so there we have right now the worn lipstick. So I want to bring in some of my vintage photo color. So all I'm going to do now is use my baby wipe. This is awesome. The ink comes right off with the baby wipe off of my craft mat. And I'm also going to take now and do the same thing with my vintage photo ink pad. All I'm doing is dabbing to get the ink transferred onto the pad. Okay? And again, spritz with water. Now obviously the more water you add, the lighter your color is going to be. So this is just like painting using watercolors. Now all I'm doing is going into the flower, into the areas that are white, that were not covered with pink. And I'm even going to dab into my centers because we don't want that stark white showing through. I like to purchase my mulberry flowers in the color white or ivory. A lot of times white is sold out because a lot of people have picked up on, oh, I'll get my flowers all in white and I can make them whatever color I want then, which is what I do. But you can do the exact same thing with ivory flowers. I get these from a supplier of my own. I have to buy them in large quantities, and that's why I put the kits together. So you will get one of these flowers in your kit if you purchase the birdcage kit. And like I said, you can also purchase the other kit that I have available that just has eight of these exact flowers. And then you can color more on your own for other projects. This is fun and easy to do, you guys. You may find it necessary to spritz your flower if you don't see the color spreading enough, like I just did. And then you probably are going to have to go in and add some more ink too. So again, this is how you want it to look. There's no right or wrong. And I'll show it to you in a second here. I just want to get these white areas covered. And you can use more things than the Tim Holtz Distress ink pads to do this. You can use any kind of paint that you like. You can probably use the Pearl-X. You could probably just spray color right onto it. You could glimmer mist your flower. I just wanted to be able to show you a technique here. And something, I like to be able to have you learn something other than just hot gluing pieces together. We make a lot of our own handmade flowers in my classroom over on Ustream. You can find that information over on my blog too if you haven't been to any of my classes. I carry a large variety of cherry lin dyes, and the ladies and I are having a lot of fun learning how to make different flowers. So we've made a lot of our own flowers, so now I wanted to use some of the mulberry flowers that I already have and assemble some flowers, as well as show you a technique for coloring some flowers on your own. So again, this is one of the easier ways. You can spritz, you can glimmer mist, you can do whatever you want, but most of us have ink pads. It doesn't have to be just the Tim Holtz ink pads, it could be any. And here's what my flower looks like now. Okay, so it's gone from, let me show you, this is ivory in color, as I said at the beginning. This is the exact flower. It's gone from this color to this color. And it was very easy to do. You saw me do it. Okay, so now I'm going to take my wipe and clean up my area here. And I'm going to start working on my bird cage. I simply keep this on so that it's easy to hold while I'm coloring. I no longer need that any longer. So I'm going to cut that off. And I don't cut all the way down to the base. I leave a little bit of a nib showing there, just so that I can pick it back up. And also that is technically holding the pieces all together, so it will start to fall apart if you cut that completely off. So the first thing I'm going to do here is you're going to get some really pretty feathers from me. And I'm going to start by adhering a feather to my cage right here. I'm putting a glob of hot glue. That's the adhesive I'm going to be using. And I'm just laying it down. You also will receive a really pretty skeleton leaf. This is a green one. And I'm going to put that right on top of my feather. And again, you guys, this is just my way of decorating this. You can decorate yours however you like. Make it your own. If you really like mine, go ahead and copy it. Fine. I now squirted a glob of glue on top of the skeleton leaf. I'm sorry if it gets a little noisy, you guys. My dogs are going to start barking because my husband's coming home from work. As this flower dries, I'm going to bend the leaves up on it. So right now it's just, it's still a little wet from all of the ink. But here's what we've got so far. Okay. And again, you get everything that you see me working with in this kit. Now, this is a really pretty flower. This is another mulberry flower. And again, I'm cutting the stems off because we don't need them. And all I'm going to be doing here now is putting the flowers where I think I would like them to be. Okay? One of the other things that you're going to get is one of these crown stick pins. Very pretty. And a butterfly. And we're working with pinks and browns here, obviously. And all I want to do is I want to take this stick pin and stick it inside this butterfly like this. Here's where I'm coming out. And then go back down through the end part because I want to adhere the butterfly to the pin like this. Okay? And I'm not going to glue it down or anything yet, but I think I'm going to want it somewhere around there, so I'm just going to leave it there for right now. And then I'm going to start using some of my other flowers here. And remember, you're getting all of these flowers, so you can put them where you like, you can do with them what you will. It's whatever you like. I just like sticking them in places, seeing how they look, and then I just squirt a little hot glue in there. One of the things, because I really like dimensional projects, which this is one, don't get caught up in having everything flat. Part of the reason why we like dimension in our projects is because it looks more real. So puff up your leaves, push petals up, let things stand up a little bit. It makes it more lifelike. Okay? So I just put one of my little carnation leaves there. Or I'm sorry, flowers. You're going to get some leaves. So I'm just squirting some of my hot glue on the base of the leaves and just laying them where I think they're going to look nice. Sometimes I lay all of my flowers down and then decide to go ahead and put them different places. Sometimes I just go ahead and just simply do it, which is what I'm doing now. I'm trying to do stuff more as I go along instead of worrying about what it's going to look like by how I'm doing it with laying it all down. A lot of times it looks the best the first time you do it, and then you can't get it back like that again. So I'm one for saying let's just try it and put it together and see what it looks like. Now again, that pin is not adhered there yet by any means with glue or anything, but this is what we have so far. Because I'm going to use another feather, so you've got enough feathers for the top piece, and then I kind of like this one right here to run down the side. I'm just going to put some hot glue there in the corner. Okay. And then I'm going to put in another little glob right there. Again, you guys, be careful using your hot glue. They call it hot glue for a reason. When you're working with feathers, you can really burn yourself, so make sure you're careful. Here's another really pretty mulberry flower. You can color this if you want, but I think I want to leave some white in my project. So again, I'm cutting off that stem. And I'm going to put this one here. Okay, there's that. And then I really like these pink. These are called, I think they're called cherry blossoms. So I'm going to take this one. And I'm going to put this one next to it. And I'm going to grab another leaf. I think now that I'm looking at this, you guys, because I'm using so many pinks and whites, I'm going to need to bring some more pink into my flower here. I mean, pink, red, and brown all go together, but I think I'm going to get a pink ink pad. But I'm not done yet, so that's okay. I'm going to just keep altering here. I'm not sure what these are. These are just your unopened flowers. I like to use these in my projects for, of course, more added dimension, but also when you see a bunch of flowers put together, they're not all open. So it's kind of nice to see some unopened flowers just to make it look more natural. Now, the fun thing about having these on these wires, as you can see, I just kind of assembled them like this. I'm going to use this wire to hold them together like this and just twist around. Okay? Now, they're assembled together, and I don't have to worry. They're now more one unit. When I put this down on my project, I can then pull it out, push it in. I can bring it over here if I want. That's the nice thing about having these on wires. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to lay that right there. I'm going to cut some of this because it's way too long. And I'm just going to put a dab of glue right on top of that feather there and lay that down. Now I'm going to add more glue, but first I want to see where else I'm going to put things before I'm moving too much around. Here's another really pretty two-tone rose. We've got some white and pink there. And I think I'm going to put this one down here at the bottom so that I can hide that stem. And because I've got some leaves, I'm going to go ahead and use some leaves too. And it doesn't matter if you put your glue on the bottom or the top because it's going to stick to something either way. Okay, look at what we have here so far, you guys. See how fast and easy this is? Now, you saw me just working with flowers laid out on my craft mat. So I'm not working off of anything in particular. I'm just laying stuff down and seeing what looks good where. And the other kind of nice thing about hot gluing, and undo is a great thing, however, I'm kind of bad. I just rip stuff off sometimes if I don't like the way that it looks. I'm just going to put a glob there, and I'm going to put a pretty white cherry blossom there. And then, let's see. I kind of like to work on one side of my project, so I'm going to leave this side empty. And I just do that. That's just me. It's not something you have to do. It's just something I like to do. And I'm just using my glue and laying down more things. And after it dries, I can pull things up and maneuver them around a little bit. So I'm not going to worry so much about everything laying so flat right now. Let's see. And again, you don't have to use everything that I've given you. You can do whatever you like. You've got more than enough stuff here, though, to create a really pretty altered bird cage. And I'm one of those people that are crazy about the odd number rule. I believe that things look best in odd numbers, which is why I just put another cherry blossom down here to make it 3 flowers clustered together. I've got 3 here, and then 2 here, making 5 in this area. So I do like that. You don't have to do that. It's all about what you like. People really like to receive stuff like this too. So you can go ahead and give this as a nice gift. Keep it for yourself. And for $19.99, I think that's a great price to get all these embellishments, everything that you need to do one of these yourself. Okay, now I have these really fun little rose buds. And I've got some white ones, and I've got some pink ones. And again, remember, you're getting all of these, so you're going to get the same fun stuff to work with that I'm using. And believe it or not, we're already almost done. I might end up taking this big flower off of here, you guys, and doing a pretty pink one, because that color, I'm not liking it a whole lot. Which is okay, because I can use that on something else. Hold on one second. I'm going to grab a pink color. Okay, I've gotten tattered rose, but I'm not going to do anything with that yet. Let me see. Let's try this a second. I like to use my rosebuds as my last finishing touch. So I want to go ahead. I'm just using another flower here. They come kind of crunched up. You can flatten them out or do whatever you want. I'm going to show you this again. Alright. Again, I'm just dabbing and spritzing to get some color. Hot glue is great, but the glue webs kind of drive me crazy, I'm not going to lie. Alright. I might even leave this like a pink and a white. Or this is ivory. The flower is colored ivory. So I might just put a little bit on here and leave it too. I'm going to see what this looks like. The tattered rose is kind of a muted color. It's not real dark. It's very pretty. I love all of the distressing pads and the colors. I'm using less water just to see if I can get it a little darker. See how it's coming out a little darker now? I do really like this like this. I think what I'm going to do is leave it ivory and just dab some of this in here. And again, it's all about your own liking, how you like it to look. These flowers are so fun and easy to do. And as you can see, you just get totally different effects. Look at what I've got here. And I think this color goes more along with the color that I have already down there. And I'm going to be really bad because I don't want to get up and search for my undo. I'm going to just pull that flower off of there, which you normally would not do at home. You would go and get your unglue or undo, and it would just pop right off of there. That's one of the things about doing this live. You make mistakes, you change things up. But that's what makes it real, you guys. right? Okay, so I really like this like this. Cleaning up my mess. Alright, I'm going to see about pulling this off of here now. I might ruin it, but that's okay. I might ruin the flower, not the birdcage. And this is just because I'm being crazy about the color. And I did not ruin the flower. I'm going to be able to use this flower again. Some of the petals came off, but that's okay. It's going to look just fine when it dries. So, I don't want any of my girls laughing at me either when they go back and watch this. We have a lot of fun on my Ustream show. You guys should stop by if you haven't already. I teach either Thursdays or Fridays at 7 o'clock Central over on Ustream at Christine's Creative Classroom. I do giveaways. We work with a lot of cherry lindis, which I love. Okay, much better. Love this much better. It's much more muted. Yes? Okay. Now I can add my really, really, really pretty little rosebuds. I'm thinking about my butterfly stick pin over here too. It's kind of adhered itself, and I didn't even put glue in that. That's right, I like it there. Okay, so we've got the pink rosebuds, and again, they're on these wires. So I like to just spread them out a little bit. Sorry again for my dogs, you guys. I pinch them together, I take one wire and I wrap. Okay? Then I like to cut. Now I can do what I want with these. This is kind of fun to be able to bend them, put them where you want them, all being on the wire. Okay? I kind of like the draping look a little bit, and I kind of feel like there's a little spot right here that I want to fill, right here. So I'm going to put those there. Now, you know what? I think I might use the white ones there. Let me just see. And this is all you do with this, you guys. You just literally lay your stuff down, see where you like it, and put it there. Okay, I'm not going to hot glue anything yet in case I decide I don't like that. Same thing I'm going to do here now. I think I'm going to use 5 though. Again, I'm working in odd numbers because I'm crazy like that. Okay, so I've put 5 of them together. No real way, just random. Pinch, take one of my stems and twist. Okay. And again, that's simply to hold them. And then I'm going to cut those away. I want this to kind of look like a spray coming down from here, which is perfect. So now I'm going to put a little glob of hot glue underneath there, and I'm going to do this upside down now so you can see what I'm doing. And again, I'm going to maneuver the flowers themselves after the hot glue takes hold really well. So that's not how it's going to look. I just want that glue to dry. And now again, I've got 1, which is an odd number, and it's fine for me to go ahead and slip in somewhere else, which I think, let's see. Just put these wherever you want. And again, remember, you don't have to use all of them either. Okay, I like that right there. You don't have to worry about everything being where you think it's looking right or not right. I know that didn't make a lot of sense. I'm trying to explain. I sometimes lay stuff down and I'm not sure that I like it or not, and you have to remember you can always remove stuff. Don't get caught up in thinking, okay, it's got to stay there once you put it down. Undo is an awesome product that allows you to remove stuff without ruining your project. So if you don't have that, I suggest you get some. Okay, now I am just about done here. I have an extra leaf. Let's see. I'm about using my stuff, so let's see. This is just really cute. I really like this. Alright, I'm going to put some glue there. And just slide my leaf inside there. Okay, and then I have these, whoops, in my computer I have some bling now. I have these little bling pearls, and I'm going to put them, let me show you, right here along the little perch where my bird is sitting, and then one right there on my little food dish. I like to squirt my hot glue right onto my pad, and I use a toothpick when I'm working with bling, just because I don't want a huge mess. And there you go. There's one there. You go ahead and do the same thing here. And again, I'm working in odd numbers even with my bling. Alright, we've got one there. There's one. And yes, I am burning myself a little bit by doing that, but what we do to be creative, right guys? Here's the second one. I'm going to have to move my feather over a little bit there, and I'm going to get a third one in there. And we are going to be done already. So this did not take me very long at all to do, you guys. And look at the result. Beautiful. I'm going to hold it up for you in a second. And then I'm going to move my flowers around a little bit, the petals and things, to show you the different ways of making this look a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to get rid of my hot glue webs. Here's the top. Okay. Coming down. Here's my bird. And my cherry blossoms, and there's my bling. And then here's the bottom. Now, I don't want everything laying flat, like, you know, it's put there and it's supposed to be there. I want some of my things pointing up a little bit, and especially over here. So you can go back and play around with these a little bit. So just doing that makes it look a little more natural. Now this big flower in the middle here, when that dries, you're going to be able to crunch those leaves and pull the petals a little bit more the way that you're going to like this to look. Same thing with this. You can bend it. I kind of like that one laying flat though. And this one I want a little bit over. And this one too, peeking it up a little bit. And I like that just like that. So there you have it. Quick and easy and fun to do. I'm going to show you up close. There's the top, the bird, the sides. I've moved those flowers around a little bit so that they're poking out a little bit. Embellish the bottom. And there you go. So let's hold it back again and show you once more. So again, you guys, this is simple, easy, and it was a lot of fun to do. You can get yourself a kit. This is how it comes with all of the embellishments, everything that I use to create my beautiful little bird cage here is included for you right here. You can go back to this YouTube video in order to show you directions on how I assembled mine. And here's my blog where you can find me. You can purchase this kit, which will be called the Altered Bird Cage Kit. When you go over to my blog, there's some tabs on the right-hand side, and one of them is called Kits for Sale. That is where you're going to be able to find this product. The rest of my blog, if you take a look at the home pages, you will be able to find these flowers that I have packaged up. I have 8 in a package along with a spray bottle that you can purchase. And then you'll find a bunch of cherry lin dies. Now when you go over there, you're also going to see another kit that I had put together where I made this beautiful dress form. Here's the dress form. This is also want to scrap. You get everything that you need to make this dress form as well. Now, this was a huge seller of mine. I only have 3 left. It's first come, first serve, you guys. Whoever wants it can pick this up. Again, very fun and easy to do, and look at how beautiful it turned out. So I want to thank you for coming. Again, here's my blog. Stop over there and take a look and pick up your altered bird cage. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.